Diddy has been denied bail again and will remain in jail until his sentencing on October 3rd. Let's look at what the judge said when denying his bail. The judge said on this application, Combs doesn't contest that detention is mandatory for his crimes of conviction. He relies solely on the limited exception to mandatory detention, where the court finds by clear and convincing evidence that the person is not likely to flee or pose a danger to the safety of any other person or the community if released, and there are exceptional reasons why such person's detention would not be appropriate. Exceptional reasons exist where there is a unique combination of circumstances giving rise to situations that are out of the ordinary. As for risk of flight or danger, Combs fails to meet his burden by clear and convincing evidence for the reasons set forth on the record at the July 2nd, 2025 hearing. Increasing the amount of the bond or devising additional conditions doesn't change the calculus given the circumstances and heavy burden of proof that Combs bears. At trial, the defense conceded the defendant's violence in his personal relationships. This type of violence, which happens behind closed doors, is impossible to police with conditions. On this basis alone, Combs' application is denied. The judge continued that even if a flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting a departure from what Congress has required. Combs' Mann Act arguments might have traction in a case that didn't involve evidence of violence, coercion, or subjugation in connection with the acts of P at issue. But the record here contains evidence of all three. While Combs may contend at sentencing that this evidence should be discounted and that what happened was nothing more than a case of willing swingers utilizing the voluntary services of escorts for their mutual pleasure, the government takes the opposite view, that Cassie, Ventura, and Jane were beaten, coerced, threatened, lied to, and victimized by Combs as part of their participation in these events. That makes his case unlike any of the cases Combs points to and places it outside the narrow exception to detention that Congress otherwise deemed mandatory. To be clear, as indicated at the July 2nd hearing, the court offers no view as to how the parties' competing arguments about the evidence will cash out for purposes of sentencing, which is happening in just 60 days. At this juncture, however, the record doesn't establish the kind of out-of-ordinary exceptional circumstances requiring immediate release. Combs also points to squalor and danger at the Metropolitan Detention Center, conditions that he says have been aggravated by the federal government's aggressive budget cuts this year. The public outcry concerning these conditions has come from all corners. But as Combs acknowledges, MDC staff has been able to keep him safe and attend to his needs, even during an incident of threatened violence from an inmate. In United States versus Chavez, the court found that the conditions at the MDC rose to the level of exceptional reasons, warranting release where it was undisputed that the defendant